Good afternoon. I greet you this afternoon with the universal greetings of respect. And thank you for taking this mindful moment together that's filled with opportunities, possibilities, and miracles, as well as choices. You could have spent your time anywhere else and you chose to spend it here, and I thank you so much for that. How did you do last week when we talked about laughing at the world, that Augmandino piece? Did you find a way to have some humor? Some of you experienced some suddenly since the last time we were together. Some of you will experience them before this day is over, and some before we meet again next week. We always begin our sessions. By the way, let me thank you for sharing. Many of you shared the video, you shared your message, you passed it on to somebody else. Thank you so much for that. You liked the page Marcus Gentry has requested. I appreciate that. So I want to go back to basics. We relax and breathe, and let's just take a moment and see if we can do this together. We call it box breathing. Let's inhale. I'm going to do it with you. Let's inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Just that process alone, repeated 2 or 3 times, might be just the pause that you need to keep from saying something that you'll later regret, doing something that you wish you hadn't done. Just that moment to stop, pause, relax, and breathe. So now let's get right into our mindful moment content. It was inspired by the idea of going back to basics. Aesop's Fables goes back 2,000 years, back to the 6th century. Aesop supposedly was a Greek slave who wrote these many fables. 725, I believe he wrote. This is one of those fables. It's of a fox, a donkey, and a lion. So the fox and the donkey were walking together through the forest. And as they walked together through the forest, they came in contact with a lion who was threatening to kill them. So the fox cleverly says to the donkey, "Listen, let me go talk to the lion for us to get him to let us go by." The donkey says, "Okay, that's fine." The fox goes over to the lion and says, "Listen, I've got a slow-minded donkey back there. If you let me go by, I'm going to trick that donkey into a hole. You got a donkey meal on me for letting me go past." The lion agrees. "Okay, that sounds like a good idea." Let me pause the fable here to make this point. Everybody who's by your side is not on your side. You have to learn how to develop your own voice so that you can speak for yourself. There are some people who smile and grin in your face, and as soon as you turn your back, they are the first ones to bite you in the back, stick you in the back, or say something, perpetuate something that's not for your own good. They say the friend of a fool is a fool. The friend of a wise person is another wise person. Who are you walking with? Who are you working with? Who are you worshiping with? Let's continue with the story. So, sure enough, they go past. Lion lets her go past. The donkey falls into this hole. The fox, happy as he can be, comes back, tells the lion, "I did just what I said. The donkey's in the hole. Thank you so much." The lion looked to make sure that the donkey was in that hole, and he eats the fox. Let me pause the story. You see, there are many people on one side of this that we talk about the lion. There are many people who say one thing and do something else. They are a wolf in sheep's clothing. They promise to do one thing, and then when it comes down to something else for their own best interest, they do something completely the opposite. Now, the donkey didn't know what was going on up top. He just knows what happened to him. But you see, there's something that we can rest assured in, knowing that there is such a thing as karma. And the very people that we come across that are trying to plan and plot something against you or cause your demise or waiting for something negative to happen, trust and believe that the natural order of things will present itself in every case eventually, even if you don't see it. Even if you don't see it, that's going to happen. And they're going to get their just due in time. So you have that happening as well as you have people pretending in sheep's clothing. Be mindful of that. So let's continue with the story. So the lion now, very happy, goes over, looks at the donkey, jumps down to devour the donkey. Just prior to him attacking the donkey moves over to the other side of the board that he created. When the lion jumps down, it springs the donkey up out of the hole. Now the lion is in the hole and the donkey is up top. We end the story here. If that donkey had spent his time in the hole complaining about his situation, oh, look what happened to me. I can't believe somebody betrayed me. I can't believe that fox did what he did. I know things bad are going to happen to me. He could have complained. Well, maybe some more donkeys will come along and just help me out of the hole, you know. But then again, you know, we donkeys don't stick together. He could have spent his time focusing on that. And you know, when fear and other emotions of anger cloud our vision, it causes us to exaggerate the possibilities. So that lion coming down represents our fears that we may have in our situation. The fear of loss of a job, the fear of the end of the world coming, the fear of the relationship not working out, or what if this job doesn't work out, or fear of all the possibilities of things that have not manifested just yet. Instead of recognizing, as Ian Levan Zant said, that there's value in the valley. There is power in the present moment. He used that circumstance that he was in to look around and create stepping stones for what otherwise would have been a stopping stone for him. He took action. It didn't just hope that things would change or wait for somebody else to do for him. He realized, as Sun Tzu said, to know the enemy and to know yourself is what will cause you to be successful in the engagements. And he used that time to build something to catapult him to another level. What about us? Are we in situations, in our valleys, in our holes of depression and waiting for somebody else to pull us out? Are we overcome by that threat of what might happen or what did happen before that caused us to get into that situation? What are we doing to lift ourselves up? Many times as you're being elevated out of that hole, you will pass by some of the same people that were seeking to devour and take advantage of you. An Aesop fable passed down from generations to generations for over 2,000 years. The moral of the story is, now that you know this, what are you prepared to do now? I encourage you to look for opportunities to pass the message on, to pass the video on, to say it in your way, to continue the legacy of passing on stories like this, to look for opportunities where you maybe can find some value in your moment. What if where you are is exactly where you need to be in order to become the person that you need to become? I encourage you to look for those opportunities. I encourage you to expect the possibilities of what might happen if you start using the things around you, because it's said, Michael Beckwith even talks about this, that we already have present with us exactly what we need and who we need and where we are to get the things that we ultimately want to have. Consider the possibility if you look differently at the things that you have in front of you right now. Last, I encourage you and invite you to expect and experience the miracles that will expand in your journey as you become more mindful in your moments. Please pass the message on. Remember to take the time to relax and breathe for you to make it through those difficult moments. Like the page, Marcus Gentry as requested. And until next time, travel well. Respect.